to another long-distance call. Miracle is in Mountain View, Missouri. She is in the Ozark Mountains, and you are on with Jesse the Body Ventura.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi, how are you?
Fine. I wanted to ask you two quick questions. Who was the toughest wrestler you ever wrestled? And also, if you would ever consider getting the tights back on if they had, like, all the guys out of retirement to wrestle.
A Masters tournament. The senior tour.
Wait a minute. First of all, I ain't a master. I retired in my prime. I'm still in my prime. Who is the toughest? The first question. I would say the meanest, toughest guy who I dreaded getting into the ring with the most was a fella by the name of Maurice Mad Dog Vachon. Yeah. He was a great Olympic wrestler out of Canada who chose to not even use an Olympic hold. He was a madman in the ring, and probably why I lost some of the hair on the top of my head was due to Vachon yanking it out. Would I ever consider getting back in the ring? You never say never to anything, but I chose to retire when I did at the top of my game, and I want to, I don't second guess myself, so I would say no, I would not get back in the ring.
Let's talk to Michael in Marietta. Michael, you're on with Jim Ross and Jesse the Body Ventura on AM 750 WSB.
Hi, Jim. Hi, Jesse.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
I'm good. Jesse, I was wondering, in the WWF, I've been following you for a while, how you had the Jesse the Body Award.
Yeah.
And Rick Rude won it.
Sure.
Would you consider doing that in WCW?
Well, sure, I'd love to have that, but I don't think there's any need for it because Rick Rude would win it again.
How about Medusa? I would throw my absentee vote in there if it would count,
To have the Medusa win the Jesse the Body Award? Come on, Ross. I've never dressed in drag in my life.
I know that. Well, Jess, listen, I really appreciate you taking time to be on with us here today. I know that you're busy and you're the mayor of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. You got a big city council meeting tomorrow night?
Yeah, a big one. And, the other added attraction today at the Omni was E.T. was there doing a little filming today.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And so for all those wrestling fans out there, keep your eyes open because there's going to be a big major story dealing with WCW and myself coming on Entertainment Tonight.
We'll keep our eye on that. Jess, it's great talking with you, and I'm sure I'll be seeing you soon. And again, thanks very much for being with us tonight.
My pleasure, Jimbo, and good luck to the Falcons, and we'll see you down the road at the next arena.
Okay, buddy. Thanks a lot. Jesse the Body Ventura here on the program tonight, and we're going to be going back to the telephones and taking your calls. We're going to talk to our friend Mike from Marietta. Has been holding a heck of a long time about the tournament. We're going to spend some time with Mike in just a few moments, and more with you as well. Our numbers are 872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. This portion of Wrestling with Jim Ross is brought to you by the October edition of WCW Magazine.
Is Wrestling with Jim Ross here on AM 750 WSB. And if you think you're hot enough to handle it, call 872-0750 or 1-800-WSB-TALK.
I think Mike needs to pound away a little bit more at that decaf. A little hyper tonight. Our meteorologist, the legendary Kurt Headlock Mellish, says that tonight it's going to be partly cloudy and cool, the low of 66 degrees. Monday through Wednesday, partly cloudy with scattered thunder showers on Wednesday. Why don't it just rain Monday and Tuesday as well? It's been raining every other day. The highs each day, 82 to 86 degrees. Right now it's 67 degrees here in Atlanta on West Peachtree. And I'm going to go back to the phones because Mike has been holding for about a week now. And, Mike, thanks for holding, my friend.
Oh, I've got telephone elbow just waiting for you, Jim.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. It adds a whole new dimension to listening to the program on the phone for the entire show. First, let me say, Jesse and Jake on the same show. Wow. I wish I could have talked to either one of them, but that wasn't possible.
They'll be back.
Good. First, let me make a comment. I don't believe that Ron Simmons will hold the title for a long time. He seems to be a bit streaky and seems to need a reason to get up in order to get in the peak of his form, and seems to have trouble maintaining that. And that's just a casual observation about it. And now I wanted to ask you, you all have been talking about mixing up some friend, foe, and what have you, and I'm basically issuing a challenge to Bill Watts to deliver. We don't want to see a Ross Perot where he promises and then backs out at the last minute. I'm hoping that this won't be the kind of thing that you only get to see if you go out to the major arenas. I'd like to see some of it on TV.
Yeah, me too.
Some of the things I like, that spontaneity of some of the smaller promotions. They don't take a long time to do things, and especially with the WWF, which is the antithesis, where you have to wait 6 months for anything to happen. It just makes it kind of hard to believe that feuds could exist for that long.
Yeah, I think what you're saying, Mike, is absolutely true, and I think that programs like this and other radio programs that give the fans the opportunity to express themselves is really beneficial. I think fans want to see, say for example, with Simmons as the champion, would like to see a Simmons-Sting match, a Simmons Steamboat match, perhaps, or a Wyndham Simmons. A lot of matchups I think would be a very entertaining, exciting contest. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Simmons Vader, a Simmons Rude, a Simmons Cactus. There's nothing wrong with that, but I think that we can look at both sides of the coin. Hey, I would have liked to have seen Vader wrestle Rude for the world title.
That would have been something, or even Jake against Vader, or any number of combinations.
Sure.
But as I say, I want to see some of it, on television. I don't want to just have to go to the arena. I think that would do a lot to really help motivate interest, and plus you've got a large enough roster of wrestlers at the time to make it and keep it interesting, unlike some smaller promotions, thinking maybe like of Global, who runs such a small roster of wrestlers that they can't really put on anything entertaining for any length of time.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mike. What else on your mind?
That was pretty much it.
All right.
I appreciate your time.
Okay, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate you listening and being so patient with us. Let's get Joseph. Are you still? Let's see. Joseph, are you still there? Hello? I think we lost him. I think he went to bed. It's not even bedtime yet for him. Let's go down to talk to Jim in Snellville. What happened there? Are we all right now?
Yeah.
Jim, are you there?
Yeah.
Can you still hear?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
I think you're doing a good job with the Falcons.
Oh, well, good. You've been listening to the games?
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm working hard at it. It's a little different than football. Than wrestling, but I'm having a lot of fun.
I have another question too.
Go ahead.
You know where Lex Luger's been?
Where has he been?
Yeah.
He's probably been at the Main Event Fitness Center, which he works at, and I don't know where the WBF, the bodybuilding thing. I got a feeling where it's going. I think it's going south, but.
Is he going to the WWF or what?
Oh, I'm sure that he'll eventually wrestle in the WWF, and that'll be good for him. That'll be that. Their style is probably very indicative of his abilities.
Do you think? Who do you think won between the Ultimate Warrior and Randy Savage?
Knowing I don't know. Probably I would go with the Ultimate Warrior. He's not. Savage is a better wrestler, but for some reason I just feel like the Ultimate Warrior probably win the match.
All right.
Savage is a much better wrestler, though. Appreciate your calling that, my friend. And Jim from Snellville, thanks for calling. Let's see. Let's talk to Jason in Aikens, South Carolina. Hello, Jason.
Hey, Jim.
How you doing?
All right. Well, first I'd like to say I'd like to see you and Tony Schiavone hosting WCW Saturday night.
Okay, well, I'll pass that along. Tony does a great job, and that wouldn't bother me. Be a good deal.
I have a question. Has Bill Watts made any movement towards getting back to Rock and Roll Express?
The Rock and Roll Express have been discussed, and I'm sure that in the next few months, when the opportunity presents itself and their schedule permits, I'm sure we'll see them back in WCW. They're very well thought of in this organization. Robert in Villa Rica. How are you, Robert?
I'm fine. A comment about Jake that I believe it's going to be a plus in his career coming to WCW, where he'll have more run for his money in WCW than he will in the WWF, because really, in my opinion, he has too much talent to go to waste in WWF right now.
I agree with you, Robert. You're exactly right. Those are very good points, and we appreciate you calling. Let's talk to Greg in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hi, Greg.
How you doing?
Good, thanks.
I'm really glad to see what Bill Watts has done to WCW. What I'd like to know, if WCW has any plans of coming to Pittsburgh, we don't have nothing. We've had WWF, but I won't go to the circus.
Yeah, I tell you, we are trying to develop a local television following with our worldwide show there in your great city. We're talking to some potential promoters for the market, and if we can get a couple more things that are basically out of our control taken care of, I think you'll see Pittsburgh as a regular stop on the WCW tour.